Hi, my name is Tarek Baktani, and I'm a youth leader within Afghan Australian Philanthropic Association, and I work as a treasurer for Afghan Diaspora Unity Council. Over to you.
Hello, thank you, Tariq. My name is Adiba, and I also work closely with the APA, and I guess as an Afghan Australian within the community, assist with resettlement in Australia, Afghan women, refugee resettlement, and yeah, have been a proud member of the Australian community in Melbourne for the past 30 years now.
So I started my youth work back in 2014 when I started studying in RMIT University. My main motivation came from Foundation House because when I came to Australia in 2010, Foundation House had a program, it was called UCAN 2. So through the program of UCAN 2, I got introduced to volunteers and volunteering work and working with the community, and I was very passionate about that. So that's why I started working with APA youth community. As a youth leader, I do organize sporting events, other cultural events, music programs for the Afghan youth ranging from 16 to 24 years old. And I do help a lot of Afghan youth with if they are suffering with mental health illness or if they have family violence problems. So, and we do have a lot of different other programs that we work closely with the state government. Those programs are such as Victoria Police comes and talks to our youth, our Afghan youth, in order to help them understand Australian way of life and understand how to follow the law and how to make a better community. And as well as with current crisis, we work with DHHS and through Uniting organization via COMAC program, we do promote the coronavirus vaccine to our youth and to our Afghan community.
Yep, and I think platforms like this are really important. Really happy to be part of the Spirit Harmony Multicultural Festival. Thank you for having us to really talk about how multiculturalism and diversity has excelled and succeeded in creating a national identity of Australia. Because I mean, a lot of countries and cities around the world are multicultural, but and Melbourne, in fact, and it's important. Multiculturalism is important because it really weakens and dilutes ignorism through ways of diversity and cultural equity. And so when we speak about Melbourne, we see that Melbourne not only promotes it through programs that Tariq and Mr. Noor Ashna and Naweed Jalali are part of, through community implementation and public endorsement of such programs to assist refugees in resettlement and to assist really in a soft integration, but to really for people that are like Afghans that are determined and have a vision, that hope really, that assistance that they get from organizations like APA and the Afghan Diaspora Association really helps in creating that stepping stone towards being a balanced society. And studies have shown, the Australian Human Rights Commission I saw had said that around 83% of people that have migrated to Australia have identified themselves as Australians immediately after the settlement has been completed. And yeah, I think Tariq, if you want to.
Yeah, so as Abida said, we do promote harmony between communities. So in our programs, let's say our Eid programs, Independence Day, Nowruz programs, and all the Afghan community events, we do invite other communities like from South Asian communities, from South American communities, and all the neighboring countries that are surrounded with Afghanistan. We invite them into our culture. We show them what our culture is in order to bring a harmony between people, because that's what we are about in Australia. We are about multiculturalism, and we do promote multicultural events in our community in order to make a better society and make Australia and Melbourne especially much more beautiful as a society and as people.
And if I can add, Tariq, like Melbourne, I think really it not only promotes multiculturalism, I think Melbourne also thrives on it.
Of course,
Do you know?
it is, yeah.
Because through these celebrations that we hold, it's not just about the differences, right? Because they're so radically different. These celebrations really, they ensure that through celebrations we come together and understand each other better.
Exactly.
So I really love that. I love that, you know, I've taken some of my friends to the Nowruz festival, and they've learned so much from that one evening than I could have ever probably spoken to them about. But really, I think platforms like this, again, is so important for us to speak about, because Australia, being a humanitarian capital, we have a responsibility to pay heed to the plight of Afghans and the refugee crisis around the world, because what Afghanistan is going through right now is horrific. It is horrific for women and children in particular. And you know, I think whatever we can do, it should be set as a perfect standard to Australia thriving to be that humanitarian country and a strong nation, such a strong community that it has, to then help with the global crisis that we are facing right now.
Exactly, yeah, you actually touched on a very important topic, which is the current crisis of COVID, especially in Afghanistan as well. A lot of people are suffering and a lot of people are going through a lot of hardship. So this is our time now, because we have been suffering and we have been in lockdowns due to the coronavirus. So now we have to come together as a community and bring all the communities together in order to create harmony, in order to help each other, to make our bond much more meaningful and powerful as a community, and try to help Melbourne and help Victoria and Australia in general with all the problems that we are going through. That's why I want to thank Mr. Daniel Andrews as a Premier. He's been doing a fantastic job with all the works that he's been doing in order to keep our community in order during this pandemic time.
Absolutely.
And as well as the state government, they have been promoting, endorsing coronavirus vaccines, and they have been helping our communities. I work with them closely in order to promote the vaccine, to help our community members to stay safe and look after their health, not only their physical health, but their mental health and the family problems that they have, which is really important as a human being. And that's why I'm always working with the community. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. And I think I'd just like to close off with, you know, with Afghans that have come to Australia. We, like every country, every nation has a story, and the story of Afghanistan is one of perseverance, is one of hope, and I think multiculturalism is really important within Australia to create a strong community and a strong nation like Australia.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening. So now I want to introduce Mr. Dur Ashna, the president of AFGHAN Australian Philanthropic Association, and the president of Afghan Diaspora Unity Council.
And I'd also like to introduce Mr. Naweed Jalali, the Secretary Assistant to the AFGHAN Australian Philanthropic Association, as well as restaurant owner of Cabana.
My name is Dorashna. I'm the president of AFGHAN Australian Philanthropic Association and also Afghan Diaspora United Council. I work for this association about 22 years, and also I have a radio program in 3CR. Before also we run in this program, still we have this program. The name is the radio program Awaz Dost. This radio program for our community for both language, Pashto and Dari. We united Afghan community here to help to the Australia society, Australia government, and also another community.
My name is Naveed Jalali. I am also a member of the Afghan community in Australia, and also we have a family business, Cabana restaurant, which is located in Melbourne, Australia. So we help the community throughout with Mr. Dorashna helping them through this association of the refugee program and all other associations.
Our association aims provide different support to the community, like culture, education, also sport, and for a different issue. We have every year culture celebration like Afghan New Year festival and Eid celebration, and also we had different project in the community. A music class, we had free class for the new Arab people to teach them the music, and also we had for the different project for the young people like sport club. All new Arab people when they come, they free training in the sports club, and also we have for the lady some program every week or some time they have meeting, and also they have some program to help to the whole community and special for the women. And also we have a program for the different category people like young people, children, women, also for the adult to work in the different area and also help to each other, and special for the people to not get stressed. And also we have a good connection in relationship with the other community like India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and other. I also work in the SPARC. This is a council for the Southeast Pacific country here in Melbourne. Our association have good relationship with the government and also the state government and the council, and also another member, the parliament. We have a good relationship with another organization here in Victoria. We have a different project. Our aims also work with the new Arab people when they come to Australia. We help these people for the stability to the community, and also we help about different needs they have. Also, we support the people, the family members from our community. They living very bad situation in Afghanistan, Pakistan, and also India. Especially this time to Taliban come to in Afghanistan, some educated people, lady and also people work before the government, they like dangerous. We help these people to come to Australia and their life is safe here. We have a different project in the community.
Throughout our family business, our restaurant, we helping bringing all these multicultural, not only Afghans, also we bringing different diversity, different people from other nations like Pakistan, India, Lebanese, and all these people we bringing together, and we have also working together in terms of as Mr. Durashno also said, we working together as a Afghan community, helping people who newly arrived from Afghanistan, especially with the situation what happened with the last month the Taliban took over. So we always being there with them and helping them. Some of them they have some language problem, and also we help them throughout our community, and we give them the best advice as well.
Our association have different program for the community. When we have cultural program like AFGHAN New Year Festival, we invited government, member of parliament, and also another community leaders. I would like to thank you, Daniel Andrews, Primary, and also other member the parliament, the state, and member of federal parliament, and also the councillor to attend our program, and we have a very good relationship. They all the time they support our community. They support our different project in our community. And also, I will like thank you the whole part. They support me and also our member the community to provide different award for the everyone. I got every year award for the state government and local government, and also for another organization for my work in the community. I and also my association get award for the different achieve we had in the past.
Throughout the association, as Mr. Ashno also had some more explanation, we always working out with the community, and in terms of our family business every year, in terms of our feast, and also we have some feast, a few feasts in each and every year, like New Year, and other days. Through our culture, I would like to thank Mr. Daniel Andrew, our Premier, and also we thank our state government of Victoria. They are always helping us, our community. They are always active in terms of whatever we need. So we are really thankful for them, especially in this pandemic time, which is really hard for everyone to go out. So we are always appreciating the state government of the Victoria and Mr. Daniel Andrew. Thank you very much.
Also, we work with DHS and WIMC about the COVID-19 and vaccine. We had different information session for the community. We asked some doctor to explain to the community to have the injection, the vaccine, and also we work with the government about the stop the coronavirus in the community. This is very important for us. I would like to thank again to the state government for the good help to our community in this hard time in the situation now in the community about the COVID-19.
So now I'm inviting Member of Parliament and Minister for Disability and Aged Care, Mr. Luke Donovan, to come and speak to us about the Spirit and Harmony Multicultural Festival.
G'day, my name's Luke Donovan. I'm the State Member for Narre North, and I'm very much the proud representative of the largest Afghan community in Australia. A people of great history, great pride and great learning. But a country, as we all know, which has been bedevilled by the games of the superpowers and been so adversely impacted by that. Obviously, recently we had the withdrawal of both American and Australian, the Australian government withdrew its embassy there, which has left Afghanistan in a terrible situation with the fall of the country to the Taliban. And we know the great fears our local community has of the Taliban, to put it mildly, and the dangers for both women and men, and both the threats, the murder and the like which will occur during this time. I can honestly say that I've never had a more difficult time to be listening to so many stories of so many members of my local community who have family over in Afghanistan, who are having to hide, who have been threatened, who have been killed, to be honest. And it's probably it is the most difficult time that I've experienced listening to stories, and it's not because I don't want to listen to the stories. It's the sense of what can I do? And unfortunately, in many ways, I can keep talking, keep pushing, keep harassing the federal government, but at the moment they're not listening. As I was just saying, the fall of Afghanistan has been terribly distressing for the local community, but more so than that, it's come at a time when obviously we've been right in the heart of an international pandemic. It's obviously been a time when people are isolated, aren't able to get together with families in the same way they used to previously. And I guess in many ways, COVID's made it very difficult for families to get together and support one another while the fall of Afghanistan has occurred. So I can understand it is a terribly difficult time and terribly distressing time for our Afghan community. For me, what distresses me the most is the response of the federal government. And I guess there's three concerns I have here. One, the paucity of visas. Yes, we've got 3,000 visas for Afghan personnel who worked with the Australian Defence Department. And yes, those 3,000 visas have been processed, but that's all we've got. All the onshore family and partner and humanitarian visas that I have applications for presently simply haven't gone anywhere for 5 years. They simply haven't put the staff in to process them, whereas I have visas from other countries in terms of partner and family visas which have been processed in under 12 months. To say that is disappointing and discriminatory would be putting it mildly. I'm terribly upset about that. In terms of the offshore visas, there is no offshore visas presently the federal government has committed to in that sense for Afghanistan specifically. We've got members of our community, both inside and outside of Afghanistan, trying to find pathways to safety. And at this stage, the federal government is not providing those pathways to safety and is simply deciding it will ignore the situation. This is not the Australia I grew up in. This is not Australia what Australians want. When the Chinese, in terms of Tiananmen Square, were in trouble, student visas and humanitarian visas were provided here. This is a normal way to responding to crises like these, and unfortunately our federal government simply hasn't done that, and that is, to put it mildly, terribly distressing. But I guess on a positive note, I want to talk about the great work of our Afghan community leaders and their community groups. During COVID, it's been essential that we can communicate directly with the Afghan community, and it needs to be done through our community leaders, whether they're doing videos or like. For argument's sake, Dorashna at the Australian Afghan Philanthropic Association has undertaken that work to send the message out to many members of his community. Gula Beeson at the Afghan Women's Association has done a lot of food relief packages and the like, and the Afghan Students Association, Baralai Rahimi and his family. There are so many groups, including so many Hazara groups as well, who've done marvellous work reaching out. And this is about the whole Afghan community. This is not about one part of the community or another. It's about supporting one another. And what I've seen is this incredible generosity, incredible love, incredible support going out during this difficult period. So I really want to thank those organisations I've mentioned and their leaders, and there's many others I've probably failed to do so. I acknowledge that I don't have all the names of all the marvellous groups I've worked with during this period who've done marvellous work to get the messaging out about safety in relation to COVID, but also providing support, whether it be face masks, food relief, things like that have gone marvellously. So I just want to very much say how grateful I am that our community, Afghan community leaders have stepped up, done that marvellous work and supported their families and their communities so very well during this difficult time. So I guess what I really want to say is keep strong, keep safe, but how proud I am of representing the large Afghan community in my electorate, which is the largest in Victoria, and I'm very proud of that. I just want to say the love and the care that you show to one another and the support is marvellous, and that I'm just terribly proud to be a representative of you in the State Parliament. Thank you very much.